So continuation of us, where we left off. So it's important then to say that in general then, that some certitudes are derived from other certitudes, okay? Or certitude about the house and the way it's designed, then our certitude about a designer, okay? Our certitude about the design of man, our certitude about a designer. Certitude about a designer is a derived certitude that depends on another certitude, okay? You know how a tree comes from a fruit? Fruit comes from a tree. So the fruit, because it comes from the tree, it depends on the tree. Okay, the tree is first. Because in my certitude, I'm talking about our certitude, because my certitude of God is derived from my certitude of experience of reality, that certitude that I have of God. I'm not talking about the certitude that God has of God or the angels. But the certitude that I have of God is a derived certitude. And so for me, as a human being, as a man, this is a first certitude, okay? So I'm more certain about this. The very fact that I'm starting with this is a sign that I'm more certain of it, okay? Because I have to experience this in order to have that. You have to have a tree in order to have fruit. If you have a fruit, you have a tree. If you have a tree, you don't necessarily have fruit. So people could be experiencing reality and doubt about God, like atheists. Okay, I meant to talk about that earlier. Atheists and St. Thomas Aquinas agree and disagree with Descartes. Atheists say, yes, a lot of atheists, I experience reality, I experience triangles, I know what triangles are, but I deny that there's a God. No problem. Okay? St. Thomas says, I experience reality, and I say, and probably you say, I experience reality, and then I argue, I see that there must be a God because there's a design. Like Michael Agros would say, who designed the designer? Nobody. It's called what you call God. And an atheist doesn't have to agree with that final conclusion, but we do agree with a starting point, whereas Descartes wants to start with his own mind because of doubt, okay? So that leads me to the final thing I want to talk to you about today. And I'll refer back to an earlier video. These first principles, these self-evident principles that we've been alluding to, are common to all, okay? You, I think, now see that nature acts for an end, because you see that things which happen always, for the most part, if Johnny's hitting Billy, and Johnny said, I'm sorry, Billy, and Billy says, no problem, and Johnny's hitting him again, no problem. Finally, Billy's going to say, stop it, you're doing that on purpose. Because things which happen always, for the most part, happen for the sake of something. Johnny's trying to bug Billy, okay? And we experience that in life. Well, nature happens always for the most part. Horses produce baby horses. And when you have an embryo of a horse in the womb, it produces horse eyes and horse legs and things like that. Happens always for the most part. It's acting for the sake of something, okay? Another thing that it's going to be brand new to you, but I'm going to prove to you that the things in a common sense way of looking at reality are common to all. Remember, Descartes started with private reality, his dreams. And what I encourage you to do is start with common reality, sensation, and then first principles, self-evident principles that are common to you and to me. You don't have to be an expert. You're a little kid, and you see what I see. I'm a 56-year-old man. It's common to us. Things which happen always, for the most part, happen for the sake of something. Nature, therefore, happens for the sake of something, because things in nature happen always for the most part. Likewise this, watch this. You're not going to understand it, but in a second you will, like that. Let's see. Act precedes potency, absolutely speaking. What? Act precedes potency, absolutely speaking. What do you mean by that, Father Tony? Okay, let's say you have some water, okay, and it's in a pot, and it's cold. Wow, that's really cold water. Let's put some fire underneath it, and what's going to happen? It's going to become hot, right? The fire is going to make the cold water, hot water. So here's what I say to you right now about this water. This water is potentially hot. It's actually cold. Woo! Very cold. But it's potentially hot. Why? Because an actually hot thing exists right now that can make this thing become hot. If there was no hot things like the sun or fire or anything, this wouldn't even be potentially hot. It would be frozen. Okay? Because it's potentially hot, it must be the case, and it's not hot now, it must be the case that there's an actually hot thing. Act, hot thing, in this case the sun, say, precedes potency, the ability to become hot, absolutely speaking. But subjectively, this thing is cold before it becomes hot. Potency comes for this before it becomes actually hot. But absolutely speaking, if this thing is potentially cold, there's actually cold. Now you see that? Act precedes potency, absolutely speaking. And that I think you at least kind of understand that, or you know what I'm saying is true, because that's a sign of good way of thinking, that it's common to all when you reach these self-evident principles. Everybody sees them, little kids, adults. The only people that don't see them are people who are confused, people who are bad will, people who are whatever, I don't know. But that once you clear out all the difficulties like we talked before and you come to a self-evident principle, you understand it. Why? Because by its very nature, it's self-evident to the intellect, okay? So, whereas in cogito, or what is it? Dubito ergo cogito, ergo sum. Look at that. Dubito. I doubt. Therefore, I exist. Therefore, I am. Okay, that's starting with, and Descartes started with dreams, and then came to a conclusion about his own existence. And that's private, and that's not bad. I'm not making fun of Descartes. I'm really not. All I'm going to do now at the close of this last video is show to you, again, this idea of common and private. Self-evident principles are common to all, okay? Other kinds of principles, the way of starting, say, with modern philosophy, are not. I have to take that on faith. Wow, Descartes' really smart. Everybody says that he's really smart. Okay, I guess I have to say it too. Dubito. But I don't dubito. I don't doubt that I'm sensing hardness right now. I'm sorry. So, let's next time talk about Descartes with great respect. Okay, with great respect, and analyze it a little bit more, and then maybe come to a little bit deeper understanding about certitude and about first principles. Thank you. Bye-bye.